There's a pattern in the ocean that no one talks about. The deeper you go, the more nightmarish life becomes. Not randomly, not by chance. There's a reason why creatures at the bottom look like something out of horror films, while fish at the surface look, well, normal. Today, we're diving straight down, and with every 100 meters, we'll watch evolution turn beauty into terror. Start at the surface. Dolphins leap, sea turtles glide, tropical fish shimmer in schools of electric blue and gold. Everything here looks like it belongs in an aquarium. Symmetrical, colorful, almost friendly. But there's a boundary, an invisible line where the rules change. Drop just 200 meters and the colors start to vanish. Not because animals stop caring about beauty, but because color itself becomes useless. Red disappears first, then orange, then yellow. By the time you're at 600 meters, the only color left is blue, and even that's fading fast. So the first change we see isn't just visual, it's strategic. Animals stop wasting energy on pigments that no one can see. Their skin turns silver, translucent, ghostly. The vibrant reef fish are replaced by creatures that look half-finished, like sketches instead of paintings. But it's not just the loss of color that makes them look creepy. It's what they're becoming. Because down here, being seen means death. And the adaptations that follow start to look wrong. Meet the hatchetfish. Thin as paper, eyes bulging upward like telescopes, its mouth a permanent grimace. From below, its body is lined with tiny lights that perfectly mimic the faint glow from above, erasing its silhouette. From the side, it looks like a tiny alien craft. Then there's the bear-eye fish. Its head is transparent, completely see-through. Inside, two glowing green orbs float in fluid, rotating to track prey. What look like eyes on its face, those are nostrils. Its actual eyes are inside its skull, staring upward through a dome of clear tissue. Why would evolution create something this bizarre? Because in the twilight zone, vision becomes everything, and the old rules, two eyes facing forward, a solid skull, don't work anymore. So nature breaks them. This is where the creep factor begins. Not with malice, not with intent, but with necessity. The ocean is redesigning life for a world we were never meant to enter. Past 1,000 meters, sunlight dies completely. We've entered the midnight zone. And this is where creatures stop looking like animals and start looking like weapons. The first thing you notice? Teeth. Everywhere. Teeth. But not normal teeth. These are disproportionate, grotesque. Fangs so long they can't fit inside the mouth. Jaws that unhinge like snakes. Mouths that take up half the body. The viperfish is a perfect example. 6-inch body, teeth longer than its own head. It can't close its mouth fully. The fangs curve backward, caging prey like prison bars. When it strikes, the teeth don't pierce, they trap. The prey is impaled and swallowed whole. But here's the question: why are deep-sea predators so over-designed for killing? Because food is insanely rare. A fish in the midnight zone might go months without a meal. So when prey finally appears, there's no room for failure, no second chances. Evolution has turned these creatures into living bear traps, designed to grab anything, no matter the size. The gulper eel takes this to the extreme. Its mouth can open wide enough to swallow prey larger than itself. Its stomach stretches like a balloon. The entire animal is essentially a swimming mouth with a tail attached. It doesn't hunt. It drifts, jaws agape, waiting for something, anything, to blunder inside. And then there's the fangtooth fish. Pound for pound, it has the largest teeth of any ocean animal relative to body size.
Its fangs are so long that its skull has evolved special sockets on either side of its brain to store them when the mouth closes. The teeth literally slide into grooves next to its own eyes. Imagine evolving teeth so large you had to redesign your skull just to survive them. But the creepiness isn't just about aggression, it's about desperation. These animals aren't monsters, they're starving. And in a world where meals are separated by months of darkness, the only creatures that survive are the ones willing to become nightmares. The pressure, the cold, the hunger, they don't just change behavior, they warp anatomy. Eyes grow massive to capture every photon. Bodies turn black to absorb what little light exists. Skin becomes soft, almost gelatinous, because rigid structures waste energy. One of the strangest examples, the stoplight loosejaw. It can produce red bioluminescence, a color invisible to most deep-sea animals. So it hunts with a flashlight no one else can see, illuminating prey while staying hidden itself. Its lower jaw is unhinged, held by a thread of tissue, and its body is so fragile that when brought to the surface, it disintegrates. This is the midnight zone, where evolution doesn't optimize for beauty or efficiency, it optimizes for survival at any cost. And the cost is looking like something that shouldn't exist.
Below 4,000 meters, we reach the abyss. And here, the creepiness changes tone. It's no longer just about teeth or eyes, it's about wrongness. Creatures down here have forms that don't make intuitive sense. Shapes that feel procedurally generated by a broken algorithm. Take the sea pig. A bloated, translucent blob with leg-like appendages sprouting in random directions. It crawls across the ocean floor on tube feet, filtering mud for scraps of nutrition. It looks like a pink balloon animal left in the sun too long. Or the goblin shark. Pale, almost pinkish white, its snout extends forward like a beak, but when it feeds, the entire jaw shoots out of its face like a xenomorph, snatching prey before retracting back into place. The mechanism is so alien, it was debated whether it was even real until captured on film. And then there are the things that barely qualify as animals at all. The giant siphonophore, discovered in 2020, stretches over 150 feet long. It's not one creature, it's a colony. Thousands of tiny organisms linked together, functioning as a single predatory entity. A living net drifting through the void, stinging anything that touches it. It looks like a glowing spiral galaxy, beautiful and horrifying in equal measure. But perhaps the most unsettling creatures are the ones that have abandoned normal anatomy entirely. Deep-sea cucumbers don't crawl, they drift. Their bodies are soft, fingerless gloves floating through the water. Some species have translucent skin revealing internal organs that pulse slowly, rhythmically, as if the creature is barely alive. Dumbo octopuses, named for their ear-like fins, hover above the seafloor like jellyfish. They've lost the jet propulsion of shallow water octopuses. Instead, they flap slowly, almost lazily, as if gravity means nothing. Their eyes are cartoonish, massive and unblinking. They look more like toys than predators. The deeper we go, the more life stops resembling anything we recognize. Limbs become suggestions, faces disappear, mouths migrate to strange places. The blueprint of animal design, head, body, limbs, tail, starts to dissolve. And scientists believe this is because the deep sea is evolutionarily old. These environments have been stable for millions of years, while life on land has been reshaped by ice ages, asteroid impacts, and shifting continents.
The deep ocean has remained largely unchanged. So the creatures here aren't adapting to new conditions, they're perfecting old ones. And the result is life that looks ancient, primordial, like something frozen in time from an earlier version of Earth. The creepiness we feel isn't disgust, it's unfamiliarity. We're looking at animals that evolved in total isolation from the world we know. Their logic is different, their constraints are different, and so their forms reflect a version of biology that never had to make sense to us. Below 6,000 meters, we enter the Hadal zone, the trenches. And this is where the pattern completes itself. Because down here, at the absolute limit where life can exist, creatures don't just look creepy, they look impossible. Snailfish at the bottom of the Mariana Trench have no scales, their bones are barely calcified, their bodies are soft, almost liquid. They look like they would collapse under their own weight, and yet they thrive under pressure that would crush a submarine. How? Their cells produce special molecules called piezolites that stabilize proteins under extreme compression. Their bodies are filled with fluid that matches the external pressure. They've essentially become water held together by skin. And then there are the supergiant amphipods. Normally, amphipods are the size of rice grains. In the trenches, they grow to the size of dinner plates, pale, ghostly, with empty black eyes. They swarm over any food that reaches the bottom, devouring it in hours. But the strangest part isn't how they look. It's what we found inside them. Plastic. Microfibers from clothing. Particles from bags and bottles. Even in the deepest, most remote place on Earth, human pollution has arrived. These creatures, isolated from millions of years, are now carrying traces of our world in their guts. It's a reminder that the deep sea isn't separate from us. It's connected. And the reason these creatures evolved to look so alien is because their world operated on different rules. But those rules are changing. So why do deep-sea creatures get creepier the deeper you go? Because each layer of the ocean removes something we rely on. First, color. Then light. Then warmth. Then pressure normalcy. And with each loss, evolution has to compensate. It has to find new solutions to old problems. And those solutions, built in darkness, under crushing weight, in near starvation, don't prioritize looking friendly. They prioritize survival. The fangs, the bulging eyes, the translucent skin, the unhinged jaws, none of it is designed to scare us. It's designed for a world where being efficient means being extreme, where beauty is a luxury, and function is everything. And maybe that's what makes them so unsettling. They remind us that nature doesn't care how things look, only that they work. The deep sea is evolution without an audience, biology without aesthetics, life at its most raw and unfiltered. We've explored less than 5% of the ocean, which means there are creatures down there we haven't even imagined yet. Things stranger than snailfish, weirder than goblin sharks, more alien than anything we've documented. And every time we send a camera into the depths, we find something that rewrites what we thought was possible. The deep sea isn't just creepy, it's proof that Earth is still a mystery. That we share this planet with life forms we barely understand. And that the ocean, dark and silent and crushing, is still teaching us what life can become when it has no choice but to adapt. The question isn't why deep-sea creatures look like nightmares. It's why we ever thought the ocean would play by our rules.